Hi, this is Tim Gager, and I'm going to read a piece of flash fiction from my big table book, Every Day There's Something About Elephants. If we don't think, we will sleep. I reread The Little Prince last night when I couldn't sleep, the world being too large for me. I tried to relate to the book, but since there was no princess in the story, I just wanted to smack the little guy upside the head. I mean, who falls in love with a flower? Somewhere, someone once said, love is a rose, so using basic logic, the little prince was falling in love with love. Now that's a bad idea, as is talking out loud to a book after midnight, when instead I should be trying to sleep. The only thing more frustrating than lying in bed, wide awake, would be standing up and trying. I was in love with someone who stood pat, so in that way, I fell in love with love as well. That's no good in any book. Yes, I thought about the time she told me she didn't want kids, but I told her she'd be such a good parent. She asked me if I really thought so, but I chickened out and said I hadn't really thought about it much, but I didn't want children myself. She said, "You're hiding, boy, and soon you're going to be found out." But I told her she thought too much about thinking, and I knew by giving her that extra fact to think about that all the energy would build up in her brain and would be enough to power a few large cities. Or at least that energy would help keep me awake. When I spoke to my therapist about it, he told me that therapists are the worst overthinkers in the world. That's great, I said, because I'd like to work on being more reserved. Would you like a sleep aid, he asked, but I said, no, I can get much too reserved that way. So now I still don't sleep. Maybe it was I was thinking too much about the note she wrote, which said, I thought you were pulling away from me, so I'm pulling away first. I love you forever. It was a glorious note because of the basic construction of the message and also its honesty. I checked for punctuation and grammar errors, and that too was perfectly spot on. I also checked the rest of the house. She left her closet bare, all except for a pair of heels, one spike broken, the other standing strong. She owned a lot of shoes, much better than those. When I walked through the house, I wondered why I hadn't noticed that she took the sofa but left the love seat. People in love fit better on a sofa anyway, because at least they can lie down together. Only the dust which formed a large rectangle was left behind, but that can be blown away quite easily if I left the window wide open. Again, tonight, awake, I will lie down and rewrite The Little Prince in my head. I will rename it The Little Princess, and when the phone rings at 3 a.m., it will be her asking, "Can you sleep?" I'll just say, yes, because I know I can.